presented by AT&T Uverse TV. Now, after taking 2 out of 3 from the Red Sox in Boston, the Rangers move a couple of 100 miles down the East Coast. Tonight, it's the Bronx in New York and Yankee Stadium as your Rangers get set to take on the New York Yankees. And welcome in, everyone, along with Tom Greaves, Steve Busby. Delighted you could join us for the start of this Memorial Day weekend. Hope everybody's having a great time and hope you all are safe and enjoy the weekend. And thanks for spending some time with us to watch Ranger baseball. Good pitching matchup tonight in the opener of this series. Tom, Colby Lewis has been throwing the ball well for the Rangers.
He has, Buzz, and he picked up right where he left off last year. He finished the season strong last year. He's 100% healthy, and I don't think he's ever thrown the ball better than he's thrown it thus far this season. He's had 8 starts. We're going to take a couple of looks at maybe his best start of the year. Against the best team in the American League, the Kansas City Royals, Colby was at his best. On the season, he's only given up 42 hits in 50 innings. His opponent's batting average is .235. His walk to strikeout ratio is excellent, and you really can't ask for any more from your veteran starter than the Rangers are getting from Colby Lewis. He'll be matched up against a pretty tough foe tonight, though, Buzz.
That he will, Tom. Michael Pineda for the Yankees lost his first game of the season last time out, and that was against those same Kansas City Royals. But Pineda has been nothing short of sensational. 5-1, including a ball game in which he struck out 16 Baltimore Orioles, and that is the second most in Yankee history by a pitcher. So Pineda, a guy that has an overpowering fastball, never walks anybody, and is striking out people right and left at 5-1 mark with a 3.31 ERA. Rangers will have their hands full tonight trying to battle that big guy. So it'll be an interesting matchup tonight. Colby Lewis, Michael Pineda, the Rangers and the Yankees coming up from Yankee Stadium right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Day EcoBoost sales event. Get to your best in Texas Ford dealer today. Buy AT&T UVerse TV. UVerse has more live TV channels on the go than cable. And by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. Well, a gorgeous evening here in the Bronx. Beautiful shot of downtown New York, Yankee Stadium. And the Rangers and Yankees getting set to hook up in this 3-game weekend series. Before we get things underway, let's head down to the field and check in with Emily Jones.
Well, Buzz, as you well know, Delino DeShields received an opportunity, and he has received it, basically forcing Jeff Bannister to keep him in this lineup with his play, and now he has worked his way into the leadoff spot tonight, and it's somewhere he feels very comfortable.
It's different. You have to, take pitches and do all that stuff. But, I play small ball too, and I think in the 2-hole is, leadoff guy gets on, move him over or whatever. Like using my bunt game. So all that stuff kind of plays into play. But yeah, I like hitting in the 2-hole. It's cool.
So he said when he was growing up, his dad always used to put him in the leadoff spot so he would get the most at-bats as he could. So kind of getting back to his roots here in the leadoff spot tonight, guys.
All right, Emily, thank you very much. Jeff Bannister trying to find somebody in that 2-hole that is hot also, so the top of the order can set the table for the big guys. And now Tom's going to tell you about the Southwest Airlines Texas Rangers starting lineup.
Well, we just talked about Delino DeShields, who will lead off tonight. Shin-Soo Choo will bat second. Prince Fielder will bat third. Adrian Beltre is at third base. He'll bat fourth. Mitch Moreland, after a nice night in Boston, will bat fifth. Elvis is hitting sixth again. Leonis Martin in center field bats seventh. Robinson Chirinos is the catcher. And Tommy Fields at second base.
And the first pitch of the night by big Michael Pineda is in for a strike to Delino DeShields. DeShields at .279 average, and he has just been on fire of late. Up the middle and knocked down by Pineda. He recovers and throws to first. Boy, that is hitting in some bad luck for Delino DeShields. He hit a bullet, but Pineda, as big as he is, kind of clogging up the middle of the diamond, knocked it down, and was able to throw him out. Get a look at the scouting report for Michael Pineda. Mentioned that only loss of the season came last time against Kansas City. Gave up 5 runs and just over 5 innings. He can be overpowering, a great changeup as a complementary pitch to his power fastball, and he just does not walk, folks. He has walked a grand total of 3 hitters this year. That and striking out 55. So that leads you to about an 18 strikeout to walk ratio, which is by far the best in the major leagues. Shin-Soo Choo takes a strike. It is 0-1. Choo batting at .234, 6 home runs, 17 driven in. He has cooled off a bit of late. Fouls that pitch back and out of play, and now down on the count very quickly at no balls and 2 strikes. 70-degree evening here on this Friday night. Beautiful clear skies, some fluffy clouds in the distance. Wind blowing out toward right center field out of the west, about 15 miles an hour here tonight. 0-2 pitch, got him swinging. There's that slider that Michael Pineda uses to such great effect, and that is out number 2. Now we'll take a look at the rest of the defense for the New York Yankees behind Michael Pineda tonight. Brett Gardner in left field. Blake Heathcote is in center, making his first major league start. Carlos Beltran is in right. Mark Teixeira at first. Stephen Drew and Didi Gregorius up the middle. Chase Headley at third, and Brian McCann is catching. First pitch to Prince Fielder off the outside corner. It is ball 1. Prince had his 9-game hitting streak snapped last night. Took an 0 for 4 up in Boston. Still at .340 with the average. That's good for third in the American League now.
I think the thing that stands out with Pineda, Buzz, is he's just not a guy that's trying to throw the ball 100 miles an hour. He can pitch. His slider, you talked about his changeup. His slider's been terrific early in the game. He's only thrown a couple of them. Of course, he's got the mid-90s velocity to go along with it. He missed a couple of years. He had the nice season in 2011 with Seattle. Didn't pitch in 2012. Only had 41 minor league innings in 2013. And then came back late in the season last year and pitched well for the Yankees.
And a chopper to the right side. The shortstop, Gregorius, is on that side of the bag. And he makes the play, and the Rangers go quietly in the first. 1, 2, 3, and out. A half inning in the books. The Rangers nothing. The Yankees coming up on Fox Sports Southwest. The first. Now Tom is going to tell you about the Amica starting lineup for the New York Yankees.
Brett Gardner will start it off in left field, followed by Carlos Beltran, the right fielder. Alex Rodriguez is the DH. Mark Teixeira plays first base and bats fourth. Brian McCann is the catcher. Chase Headley is hitting sixth, followed by the second baseman Stephen Drew. Didi Gregorius is the shortstop, batting eighth, and Slade Heathcote is the center fielder, and he will bat ninth.
And that's the lineup that 35-year-old right-hander Colby Lewis will face. Our progressive scouting report on Colby. Good numbers through 8 starts, and they have gotten better of late. And it'll be a challenge because of all the left-handed hitters, there's only one right-handed hitter in this lineup against Colby tonight. And his changeup, because of that preponderance of left-handed hitters, will be a very important pitch for him. This very much a left-handed hitter's paradise, that short porch in right field. The ball jumps that way, too. Brett Gardner starting things off. Gardner pushed up into the leadoff spot. Last few ball games, Jacoby Ellsbury normally there, and Brett Gardner promptly bangs one into center for a leadoff single. Gardner, a .290 hitter, is aboard to start things off. And let's take a look at the rest of the Rangers defense for you, delivered to you by Fred Loya Insurance. Outfield this evening, Delino DeShields is in left. Leonis Martin in center. Shin-Soo Choo is in right. Morgan at first. Tommy Field at second. Elvis Andrews manning shortstop. Adrian Beltre at third. And Robinson Chirinos again catching. One on, nobody out. Carlos Beltran with an 11-game hitting streak intact. Coming up. 1 ball and no strikes. Beltran, despite that 11-game hitting streak, .237 his overall average, a couple of home runs, and 17 RBI. He is a switch hitter. Yankees have 3 switch hitters, I should say, in the starting lineup tonight. 1-1 the count. Yankees had gotten off to a great start this year. They have fallen on hard times of late, primarily because their offense has been hampered. They have scored just a total of 19 runs their last 8 ball games. And this is a team that for the year has scored 179. They were right at the top of the league in runs scored until lately. They're back now in the middle of the pack. Colby ready for the 1-2 pitch. 2-2. And we'll take a look at the numbers. The first 33 games, the Yankees got off to a 21-12 start, averaging just shy of 5 runs per game. Last 8 games, 1-7, averaging less than 2.5 per game.
Yeah, when you're averaging 2.4 and you're giving up 5.4.
Probably not going to win a whole lot, are you?
Yeah, maybe you're lucky to win 1 out of those 8 games. You're getting outscored by 3 runs a game on average.
If you want a good record, you better hope that there are a whole bunch of blowouts in there that can run that thing up.
Yeah.
Now the 2-2. Yanked foul by Beltran, and still 2 balls, 2 strikes. It's strange how that happens. And I think with the Yankee club that you're seeing, it has been a bigger swing than most teams have had. They were on top. They were playing well. Everything was going well. Middle of the order is producing. You had Ellsbury at the top, right up there with steals, setting the table. And then all of a sudden, Ellsbury is out of the lineup, and the offense is just shutting down. Delino to Shields coming on in to make the catch on that high pop-up off Beltran's bat. That's out number 1 with Gardner still at first. And it'll bring up Alex Rodriguez.
You were talking about the left-hand hitters in the lineup, Buzz. Colby Lewis this year has really had a great opponent's batting average. He came into the game, it's only .235. He's only given up, coming into the game, 42 hits in 50 innings. Now, left-hand hitters have hit 100 points higher than right-hand hitters, but it's still only .276. He's still been pretty solid against them. The thing is, with right-hand hitters, they're only hitting .176 against him. He's just dominated the right-hand hitters. Doing a pretty good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark, too. He's only given up 3 home runs, and that helps.
Sure does. That, in the past, Colby had a bit of a problem with that because he just refused to walk anybody.
Yeah.
Get behind and just come in with a pitch to get a strike, and sometimes he didn't get those back. Rodriguez fouls off that first pitch, 0-1. Alex Rodriguez, a .246 hitter. He is second on the team with 10 home runs and has driven in 22. And Rodriguez got off to a very fast start. All the controversy, he seemed to be able to put that behind him, and everybody feels like it has not been a distraction whatsoever this year, which is, for the Yankees, very good news. And it's good for baseball, too. 1 ball, 1 strike. Colby, the veteran right-hander out of Bakersfield, California. Nice to see Colby walking around with a big smile on his face all the time. He just feels so much better. Being able to go out there and pitch pain-free after what he's endured the last couple of years is, it's nice to see. A good guy that you like to see good things happen to, and it certainly has been a good thing for Colby Lewis. 2-1 the count to Rodriguez with Gardner at first. 1 out here in the bottom of the first. Tried to check his swing, and he did. The count goes to 3-1. That appeal down to Brian Knight, the first base umpire.
His hands came through, but he kept the head of the bat back, so that looked like a good call.
So 3-1 now. Alex Rodriguez hitting third. He'll be followed by Mark Teixeira, big first baseman. Gardner inching off at first. 3-2. That's something Ranger fans will remember the time that Alex Rodriguez was with the Rangers. You didn't see him miss a 3-1 fastball. He took a hack at it. It was going someplace hard. But a guy that's going to turn 40 in a couple of months, things slow down a little bit. Gardner on the move. The pitch swung on and missed. The throw to second is not in time. Tommy Field trying to slap that tag down on the sliding Brett Gardner, and just a little bit late.
Great throw by Robinson Chirinos. Gardner had a good jump. Robinson doesn't handle that ball for very long, and he delivers it as quickly as he possibly could. It tailed a little bit into the runner. He still turned out to make it a pretty close play after Gardner had gotten a nice jump. Rangers are still looking at the replay, decided that they agree with the second base umpire, Toby Basner, that he was safe at second.
And Joey Probinski looking at the replays upstairs and relaying the information down to Steve Buechele, who lets Jeff Bannister know what the folks are thinking about. Now our Ford leaderboard, the American League stolen base leaders. And you have Delino DeShields and now Brett Gardner tied with 11. They are tied for third place. Jose Altuve and Jacoby Ellsbury with 14 lead the pack. Here's Teixeira, who is really on a pretty hot tear. Takes strike one. Teixeira hitting .252. He's the team leader with a dozen home runs and 30 RBI. Last 9 ball games, though, he's hit .407. Off speed and a little bit low, 1-1.
Yeah, Teixeira's been plagued by some injuries the last couple of years. He only hit .216 last year. He hit 22 home runs, but his average was way down. And so far this year, he looks a lot like the Mark Teixeira when he was having his big years. In fact, he's had 26 walks and only 21 strikeouts. It's the highest walk rate that he's ever had and the lowest strikeout rate that he's ever had. That's a pretty good indication that he's a much better hitter this year so far than he has been the last couple of years.
You can see much better than half of his hits have gone for extra bases this year, 20 of 33. Slow breaking ball, and he takes it. It's 2-2.
Tough pitch to lay off of right there. That's one of those pitches that looks low where the catcher caught it, but it probably went right by the lower part of the strike zone. Yeah, it's one of those could have been strikes. I don't know how he laid off it.
Right into the teeth of the shift. Tommy Field in shallow right field throws out Teixeira. And that'll do it. So Colby able to work around the leadoff single. The Yankees stranded runner. We'll go to the second inning in New York. No score. Follow the Rangers all season long in 2015 with MLB.com At Bat. It's the #1 app for live baseball. At Bat is up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, statcasts, and a lot more. Get MLB.com At Bat for your smartphone or tablet. The Rangers come to bat here in the top of the second, middle third of the order to face Michael Pineda, Adrian Beltre, Mitch Moreland, and Elvis Andrus. And Pineda starting Beltre off with a breaking ball missed. It is ball one. Adrian at 259. 5 home runs, 15 driven in. Two 2-0. Beltre, like Fielder before him, had his hitting streak snapped in last night's game up in Boston, and Adrian's was a 5-game hitting streak. Oh! 2-1. But despite all that, Adrian's still on a pretty good tear, hitting well over 300 in the last 15 ball games, 328 to be exact, coming into play tonight. Check swing. Adrian was asking for the appeal, but no appeal necessary. It's ball 3.
Yeah, if he checks his swing and he knows that he didn't swing, he doesn't want to take any chances that he's going to get rung up. He's yelling for help before the umpire can call it.
Beltre hammers one down the left field line, hooking and going foul.
That's too bad. He got a hanging slider and ripped it.
So Adrian back in the box, and some folks down there enjoying a meal and also a souvenir now. And a sore hand. He's going to have to get an iced drink to put his hand around. Payoff pitch coming. A little better breaking ball that time from Pineda. Beltre had to spoil a good one.
So far in the game, his slider's better than his fastball.
Another 3-2. Cole, strike 3. That slider started inside and just did catch the corner. Beltre caught window shopping. That is out number 1. Just coming back to catch the inside corner. Our Kubota power stats this evening. Talking about Michael Pineda and the strikeouts. How about 18.3 strikeouts for every walk this season? That's by far the best in baseball. 219 career opponents average against him. That's 4th among active starters. And when he's healthy, and he did miss, as Tom told you, a couple of years with all the arm miseries. He had shoulder surgery, and it was a couple of years it had to feel like a black hole to him. But he has come back and come back with a vengeance. Still just 26 years of age. 1-0 pitch to Moreland, and Mitch was going for Yonkers with that swing.
Yeah, it was an interesting trade that brought him over to the Yankees. The Yankees traded their best hitting prospect at the time, Jesus Montero. There are other players in the trade, but he was the key guy for Pineda. Frontline young pitcher for a frontline young position player. Pineda was hurt, is back now exactly where the Yankees hoped he would be. Jesus Montero kind of flamed out quickly and is completely out of favor in Seattle now. So the Yankees are the big winner in this trade. The year he had the big year in 2011, he walked 55 batters in 171 innings, which is a fine total. It's less than 3 walks per 9 innings. But then after being hurt, he came back last year and only walked 7 in 76 innings, and he's taken it even farther this year. 3 in 51 innings. So whatever happened to him while he was hurt, he definitely gained some command.
Well, when they repaired his shoulder, they took the base on balls out of there.
They took it right out of there.
Yeah, he just doesn't have it in the shoulder anymore.
He still has a great arm and throws hard. He might not throw quite as hard as he did that year with Seattle, but man, he sure looks like a better pitcher right now.
2-2 the count to Moreland. Big 2-hopper that Gregorius, the shortstop, handles on the second base side of the bag. That is out number 2, and the first 5 Rangers have gone down in order against Pineda. Elvis Andrus now will come up.
He not only doesn't walk anybody, he hardly ever has a 3-ball count on a hitter. The Yankee note said that he has had a 3-ball count on 11% of the hitters. So 90% of the time, you don't even get to 3 balls.
No, I would think that, when his stuff is good, His fastball and slider combination are going. You'd probably want to hit early in the count anyway. Pick out a pitch, and if you get it, go ahead and have a hack at it.
He's not going to walk you, that's for sure.
Because he's the kind of guy that, especially when that breaking ball is dropping off the table at about 90 or 84, 85 miles an hour, that you don't want to get in a position where you have to look for the two of them. Elvis, a base hit to left field over the leap of Gregorius. So Elvis, first Ranger to reach base against Pineda, a 2-out single here in the second.
Yeah, Pineda's given up 55 hits in 54 innings. But he, as we've already said, he hasn't walked anybody. He's only given up 3 home runs. So you keep your walks down, keep the ball in the ballpark. You can afford to give up a few singles here and there.
Well, Elvis, who was hitting .224 prior to that at bat, will have that average go up a couple of pops. And here's Leonys Martin. Martin hitting at .208. Had a 1 for 4 in the game last night. And he takes strike 1. Leonys 3 out of 9 in the series against the Red Sox in Boston. But you go back over the longer haul with him, 15 games. He's hitting just .163. He has been battling that sore left wrist that he hurt down in Houston. That occurred just as he was starting to swing the bat better. And it pushed him back a bit. Check swing. It's in the dirt. A ball and a strike. Leonys did have a pinch hit home run, his second home run of the year. That was on the opening game up there Tuesday night at Fenway. Elvis stepping off a pretty good lead at first. Pineda will check him. Elvis got a late jump, and the pitch was fouled back. That was kind of unusual. I mean, Elvis, normally you see him with that kind of a jump, he's going to put the brakes on and go back, but he kept on going. Fortunately, Leon is able to foul it off. No, 1-2 the count. Pineda, a belt high set. Tried the breaking ball and left it wide. 2-2. All 3 of those games for Martin up there in Fenway. Pineda reading the signs from Brian McCann. As you can see, Pineda, a big guy. He goes 6'7", listed at 260. Maybe even bigger than that. He is a big guy that's a very agile big man. Pretty quick feet. Chopper foul outside first, and we'll come back and try it again. Rangers continuing to hit the ball well in this month of May. They come in tonight batting .265 for the month. This is the 21st game in the month of May. Rangers 12th in the American League overall with a .237 team average. Elvis inching off first base even further. He's on the move. The pitch is low. The throw is high. He got it. And Elvis pointing into the Ranger dugout. He thought he was in ahead of the tag by Gregorius. Jeff Bannister out a step or so onto the warning track in front of the dugout. And the umpire is now holding the Yankees out on the field as Bannister waits for a yay or a nay as far as he wants to challenge it. Here's what they're looking at upstairs.
I think he's safe.
Yeah, I do too. From that angle, it certainly looked like it. Here you get a better idea of where that tag was. I think you put the two of them together.
Can't tell from that angle.
Yeah.
Can't tell when his hand hit the bag. First angle looked like his hand hit the bag before he got there.
And Jeff Bannister is going to go out. He's going to challenge the call at second base. The call at second was out.
He's safe.
Yeah, I would. From that angle, I would think so. I think you see it all that you need to see right there.
Nice throw by Brian McCann. He wasted no time getting rid of that ball. And the throw is right on the bag. I think that's going to be reversed.
Yeah. Toby Bassner, the second base umpire, the one that made the call. So he and the crew chief will get the headsets on, and Larry Vanover, the crew chief, they're hooked up to the replay command center right here in New York. So it's not even a long distance call. They just,
this one, it looks like he's out because you can't tell when his hand hits the bag. That's not the angle that gives him a chance to be safe. That's the only angle. At this angle, it looks like his hand is there before the tag is on the elbow. Watch the hand. His hand's on the base before the glove's anywhere close to his elbow.
Now we'll see what the umpire charged with officiating this game at Replay Command Center says. Umpire still with the headsets, waiting for that decision to be rendered. Again, clear and convincing evidence, clear and convincing video evidence needed to overturn a call. And that's what they're looking at now at the command center, whether they're... And we don't have all the angles available to us that they have available to the replay folks.
I hope they have the same one that we just saw from the side, because it really, I can't imagine that he's going to be out after seeing that one. The one from directly behind Elvis, I don't think there's any way that you could overturn it.
Right.
Because you can't tell when his hand touches the bag. But from the side, it definitely looks like his hand hits the bag while the glove is, 8 or 12 inches away from his elbow. This is the one that looks like he's safe. His hand is on the bag before he touches his elbow. But
Umpire's still waiting out there.
About 50-50 calling him this year. I've pretty much proven to myself time and time again I would not make a very good umpire. So we'll defer to the pros on this one.
You know, Larry Vanover, you might have seen the crew chief. He motioned to Michael Pineda, go ahead and take a few tosses, and they're going to say out. So I would imagine that's going to be the call stands at second base, where there was not clear and convincing evidence to overturn it, and that's exactly what it's called. So Rangers are gone, a hit, nobody left. After 1.5, we are still scoreless.
Yankee Stadium. I don't get to roam around Yankee Stadium, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to go get food and bring it back to the camera well. Today we've got a little sushi that they serve here at Yankee Stadium, and when in Bronx, have the Bronx roll. So it's got tuna and cucumber on the inside, topped with avocado and salmon on the outside. I'll give it a run. Please turn the camera away, and then I'll report back when I get done chewing, guys.
We need a comparison now between that and the lobster roll. What do you have going? Yeah?
Both very good.
Okay.
Very fresh. Slight edge to the lobster roll, though. Still takes the top spot. But very good, though. Sushi anywhere is good. And I think there are more people eating inside like a fancy sushi restaurant on the lower level than might be in half of the stadium. There's a lot of them eating on fancy white tablecloths and drinking wine and stuff.
Popular place, huh?
Yes.
Good.
So.
Good. We'll know where to find you if we need you.
Yes, absolutely.
I know one thing, they wouldn't find me in there.
Should give it a try, Tom. Give it a try.
I've tried it.
No, you do not sound impressed.
Nah.
No, very underwhelmed by the sushi. I'm a big
Not
fan.
a big sushi fan.
Tomorrow it's Nathan's Hot Dogs, guys.
Oh, there you go.
They definitely go in that direction.
There you go.
I'm going to go big or go home.
Well, one out after a nice play by Mitch Moreland down there at first on a hopper by McCann. No, Chase Headley, switch hitting third baseman up there. Headley, a .236 average, 5 home runs, 18 driven in. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Colby covering first. Easy play as Mitch underhands to him. That is out number 2. A couple of ground balls to first. Colby getting his workout in. Having to cover on both of them. Everybody kind of around him, walking him back to the mound. That's nice. Take care of your elders. Make sure he's okay.
They said, how long you want us to stick with you, Colt? And he smiled. Go ahead back to your positions. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Kobe had given up only 2 runs in 21 innings before his last start. Against Cleveland, he gave up 5 earned runs in 5 innings. It's the most earned runs he's given up in a game.
Stephen Drew, the hitter. Drew at 182 with the average, 4 home runs, a dozen driven in. Rangers in a pretty drastic overshift against all these left-handed hitters. Got the right side of the infield and shallow right field pretty well filled up with blue jerseys. Colby drops in that slow breaking ball, and it's 1-2. Lewis back to the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stephen Drew filling a hole both at second and short for a short time. Signed with the Yankees back in January. And Colby misses low and in. A full count. So Drew with 2 outs trying to get aboard. Didi Gregorius, the shortstop, is waiting to be next. Colby with a payoff pitch. And another ground ball to Mitch. Morgan's going to have 3 up in the inning, and he's perfect 3 for 3. Well, that's 6 straight now, set down by Colby Lewis and the Rangers. Yankees gone in the second after 2, no score. will get a Rangers beach towel, courtesy of Coca-Cola. Come on out and catch the first game of a 3-game series against the White Sox and pick up this summer giveaway. Call 972-RANGERS or visit TexasRangers.com for tickets. Well, Leonis Martin left standing at home plate when Elvis Andrus was shot down trying to swipe second. So he will get a fresh count and lead off the 3rd inning. Pineda with a 1-0 pitch. Chopper in the hole and through for a base hit. Well, Leonis Martin able to find a vacant spot on the right side of that infield. He is aboard. First time the Rangers have had their leadoff man aboard.
Well, Elvis was thrown out stealing. It gave Leonis a chance to lead off the inning. And he pulls a fastball tailing away on the outside corner. Pulls it right by Teixeira in front of Stephen Drew into right field to get the Rangers off to a good start in the 3rd inning.
No, second Ranger hit of the night. And Leonis very much a stolen base threat at first. Nobody out. Robinson Chirinos the hitter. 1 ball, no strikes. Chirinos hitting at 190. 4 home runs, 15 driven in. Robinson was 2 for 8 in the just completed series against the Red Sox. 0 for 2 in brief matchups against Michael Pineda. Pineda a little slow getting rid of that ball to first, so Leonis able to get back pretty easily. Martin with 6 stolen bases. That's tied for 10th in the American League. Breaking ball catches the upper part of the strike zone. It is 1-1. Rangers as a team this year, 3rd in the American League. They have 31. You look at Chirinos' last 4 ball games, .333 average. Pineda picks out a sign, a check of first, and a tapper foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, watching Pineda throw it, Tom, I would agree with your assessment earlier in the ballgame. You said he didn't look like his fastball was what we've seen from him in the past tonight.
No. And I don't know what his fastball has been earlier in the year. Maybe that's what he throws now, 92, 93. I don't know. But man, the slider's been good. And
yeah,
he hasn't had to throw many changeups yet. He's thrown maybe a couple of them.
And that fastball sailed high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
One thing you've always said, though, Buzz, the more breaking balls you throw, the better chance you got of hanging one. And I just got a feeling he's going to hang one to somebody. He hung one to Adrian. He pulled it foul.
Yep.
Hit it hard down the left field line.
Now the 2-2. Instead, it's a toss to first.
Probably not going to pick anybody off with that move.
No. Leonis establishing a pretty good lead. He's inching off even further. High and tight, and the count is full.
There's one of those rare 3-ball counts.
So Chirinos trying to get aboard to join Leonis Martin. Tommy Field, the number 9 hitter, is waiting in the on-deck circle. See if Leonis has the green light to run here with nobody out. Pineda set a check. There goes Martin. The pitch is fouled away. Well, Leonis will have to retrace his steps and set it up again. Now, with the exception of Delino to Shields, Rangers have not been nearly as aggressive with the stolen base in the last few weeks as they were earlier. Again on the move, the pitch inside for ball 4.
There's a story.
There is a rare walk issued by Pineda. So first and second, nobody out. Tommy Field coming up.
Only the 4th walk for Pineda. Probably a bunt situation right here. Yankees think so anyway.
Yep.
Their corner infielders are already in on the grass.
That's just the second walk this month for Pineda. Hadn't had one in his last 2 starts, but has one now. And the Rangers have 2 aboard, nobody out. And Tommy Field, the number 9 hitter up there. We'll see if the bunt sign is on for him. You saw Tony Beasley, the third base coach of the Rangers, and now Pineda with McCann going through a series of signs. A runner out there at second. Pineda not able to find a sign that was to his liking. Long look at second. Field around a bunt and bunts it out in front of home plate. The only throw he'll have is the first. He throws it wide. Drew came off the bag as Pineda thought about throwing to third, got his feet pointed halfway between third base and first base and tried to make an off-balance throw. And only an outstanding play by Stephen Drew kept that from going down the line.
Well, he miscalculated when he even considered throwing the ball to third base. Even though the ball goes back toward him, it's slowly hit. There's no play at third base. You have to know when you come in to field that ball, there's only one play. Throw it to first and get the sure out. Instead, he looks to third and realizes too late what's ahead of him. And you're right, almost threw it down the right field line.
No, it's going to be a sacrifice and an error on Pineda on the throw. So no at bat for Tommy Field. But the Rangers, the upshot of the whole situation is Rangers have the bases loaded and nobody out for the top of the order. Delino to Shields up there. Delino hit a bullet right back to the box his first time up. Pineda took it off the body and knocked it down, threw him out. Pitch inside, 2-0.
Just keep talking about Delino. He doesn't chase. And throw a strike for him to swing at it most of the time. A great situation right here. If you're ever going to get a fastball to hit, right now should be the time. A guy that doesn't walk many has to throw a strike right here.
Chopper to third. It's a foul ball. Henry coming home and would have had the out. However, we'll have to reset now, and the count moves to 2-1.
No doubt about it being foul.
You got a pretty good idea on that pitch when you were pretty sure if you're Delino Shields, he's throwing a fastball, how much Pineda's fastball can move. That thing really ran in on Delino. Now the 2-1 pitch. Out of play. The count evens. Delino with 9 runs driven in this year, looking to add to that total. Got the bases full, nobody out. Leonis Martin, Robinson Chirinos, and Tommy Field, third, second, and first. 2-2 as Pineda sets. High chopper to short. It's off the glove of Gregorius out into left field. 1 run is home. Here comes Chirinos. He will score. Field around to third. And Delino to Shields with an infield chopper plates 2 runs. The Rangers take a 2-0 lead.
These are the kind of innings you love. A bouncer into right field for a hit, a walk, a bunt, and a chopper to shortstop. The Rangers have first and third, nobody out, and 2 runs in. Not sure what Gregorius was going to do with that ball. He knew he had to charge it, though. It's a high chopper. I think he's either thinking he's going to come home for the force out, which he might have had the same chance there as he would have to get to Shields at first base. Whatever it was, having to charge it like that with a fast runner made it almost an impossible play with the hop that he got.
So Delino to Shields with at least 1 RBI, if not 2. It's going to be a fielder's choice, 1 RBI, an error allowing the second run to score, the error on Gregorius. In any event, boy, shades of last night. Rangers did the same thing in the first inning up in Boston. Had 2-run score on a fielder's choice ground out. This one did not produce an out. So first and third, still nobody out. Shin-Soo Choo, a strikeout his first time up. And he takes on the inside corner for strike 1. Choo checking with Tony Beasley down there at third. He's got Tommy Field at third. Delino to Shields at first, and I would bet my bottom dollar that Delino is going to take off here shortly. I think he's revving that engine up right about now. Pineda sets. And a little looper into left center field. That's going to fall for a hit. Fields in to score. The throw goes to third. Sliding in safely is DeShields. Shin-Soo Choo with an RBI single. The Rangers lead 3-0.
This is one of those innings, boy. If you're a Yankee fan watching this, you're going, man, they're bleeding us to death in this inning. Little grounders, bloopers, bunts, a walk, and the makings of a pretty big inning.
So Choo becomes the 5th consecutive Ranger to reach base. Shin-Soo driving in his 18th run of the year. Rangers on top 3-0, and Joe Girardi's club reeling a bit after coming off the road from a tough road trip. They have not found much luck here at home in the early going. Prince Fielder at the plate now. Still nobody out. 2 runners on. There's a drive to right. There she goes. Goodbye.
Well, they finally hit one hard, and it put the cap around this inning. And I think that was that hanging slider that was due. I thought it was going to be a right-hand hitter that hit the hanger, but turned out it was Prince.
Fielder with his 6th home run, a mammoth 3-run blast. And the Rangers have put a 6th spot on the board.
Well, Pineda didn't help himself out at all when he threw the bunt wild to first base. There's a ultimate hanger right there.
That was it. The Fielder now 6 home runs, 26 RBI. And Adrian Beltre, first ball swinging, pops it up. Stephen Drew, the second baseman, makes the grab. That is the first out here in the 3rd inning.
Thought that one might have a shot at the upper deck.
Right guy hit it. Didn't quite get that far.
No.
4th home run allowed this year by Michael Pineda. The 1 gone. Here is Mitch Moreland. Base is empty. Mitch 0 for 1 with a ground out to second. 1 ball, no strikes. Yeah, it's been the kind of inning that Pineda will regret when he looks back at it. The walk started the whole thing for him, the downfall. You give up the leadoff single, but then a walk, then you throw the bunt away. And it just went from bad to worse to worse. Esmiel Rogers, the right-hander, up and starting to loosen in that Yankee bullpen. And there's a drive by Moreland. Goodbye. That's further than Prince's.
Well, the longest ball I've ever seen Mitch hit was the one he hit off Pineda in 2011 on a cold night in Seattle with a wind blowing in that he hit about 15 rows back to right center field. This one might have gone farther than that. This one was gone the second it hit the bat. Prince put a charge in his. Mitch killed that ball.
Goodness.
Pineda had only given up 3 home runs before this game. But he's pitching with a, with a marginal fastball tonight. It looks like that, I think, was a fastball. Might have had a little cutting action on it.
A 7-run inning.
It went out a lot harder than it came in.
That it did. Here's Elvis, the 9th hitter to come to the plate against Pineda for the Rangers here in the 3rd inning. Elvis had a base hit his first time up there.
Well, it's pretty obvious that Pineda has not had the same stuff in his last 2 starts that he must have had when he struck out 16 Orioles. 7 innings, he struck out 16, didn't walk a batter. Then against Kansas City, he pitched 5 1/3, gave up 10 hits, and only struck out 1. Against the Rangers, he's only struck out 2. He struck out 1 in the first, 1 in the second, none here in the 3rd.
Out of play to the right, still 0-2 to Elvis.
His fastball pretty much is topped out at around 92 in this game. Not sure what it topped out against the Orioles, but either had better location with it or he was throwing a little harder, one or the other.
Probably both.
Probably both.
I would think.
Probably both.
Elvis pulls it on the ground to Headley at 3rd. And that is out number 2. So 7 runs across, still just 2 outs. Leonis Martin coming up. Let's send it back to John Radigan for a Mazda game break. All right, John, thank you. Now here it's 7-0 Rangers. And for the 2nd time this inning, Leonis Martin comes to the plate. Leonis got all this started. He bounced one through the right side for a leadoff single and came around to score on Delino DeShields. The fielder's choice grounder. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Now 7 runs on 4 hits in this inning. A walk, an error, couple of home runs. Stephen Drew backhands that one and throws out Leonis Martin. But the Rangers put a crooked number on the board, and it is very crooked. A 7th spot on 4 hits, a couple of home runs. Prince Fielder, followed by Mitch Moreland. We'll go to the bottom of the 3rd inning here at Yankee Stadium. The Rangers 7, the Yankees nothing. Is brought to you by the Ford Memorial Day EcoBoost sales event. Get to your best in Texas Ford dealer today. Well, the clouds have rolled in, but the Ranger offense is not cloudy. A 7 spot in the top of the 3rd inning, highlighted by a couple of long home runs, Fielder and Moreland. And a 7-0 advantage for Colby Lewis going to work.
Thank you.
Here in the 3rd, a little check swing hopper back to the mound by Gregorius. That is out number 1.
I still remember that home run Gregorius hit in Arizona when he was playing for the Diamondbacks against Yu Darvish. Remember that? Darvish has got great stuff, kind of cruising along, and forget what kind of a pitch it was, but he threw a meatball, and Gregorius is definitely not a home run hitter. Hit it out to right field to cost you a victory in that game.
Yeah, it was like in the 8th inning of that thing, I think. Was.
Looked like he had the game well in hand. Might have been 3-1, 4-2, something like that. Gregorius tied it up.
Not this time, though. He was out to start off the 3rd inning. And Slade Heathcott made his Major League debut as a pinch runner on Wednesday. This is his first Major League start. Batting 9th in the order, playing center field. 1 ball, 1 strike from Colby Lewis. Now 1-2. Heathcott, a non-roster invitee to spring training by the Yankees. Got quite a bit of exposure down there. He played in 23 games this spring. Hit .333. 2-2. That's lined to left center field. That is down for a base hit. Over to cut it off, Leonis Martin. Heathcott sliding into second with his first Major League hit, and it's a double to the left center field alley.
Well, Leonis did everything he could to try to keep him from getting to second. Pretty good pitch, down and away, right in the lower right-hand part of the strike zone. And he went down and lined it sharply into the gap. Leonis ran it down, made as good a throw as he could make under the circumstances, but you can tell Heathcott has some pretty good speed.
Well, the young man out there at second, he's got his got that one out of the way. That first Major League hit, first Major League extra base hit. And back to the top of the order, Brett Gardner takes ball 1. Gardner single to center field to start things here tonight. He has provided a lot of offense over the years against the Rangers. He's now 27 for his last 61 against Ranger pitching. Takes that changeup that floats in. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gardner, after that first inning single, has the average up to .295. 1 on, 1 out, bottom of the 3rd inning. Outside corner.
Dropped the changeup on the outside corner.
Colby doing a little painting. Big right-hander. Back to the mound. Back to the plate. And a fly ball to right. Not carrying very far as Chu gets into camp under it. Now 2 gone. Carlos Beltran coming up. Let's check in with Emily Jones. Em?
Well, fellas, we talk all the time about the team putting everything together, the pitching, the hitting, the defense. Well, individually, these guys looking to do the same thing. And Colby Lewis says he feels like he's well on his way.
I want everything to try to feel good each start. And then I just kind of assess how I feel in the pen, and then I just roll it into a game, I feel like last start was a situation where, I didn't take care of some small things that I needed to. And that's kind of what I kind of feel like I kind of beat myself. So, I look for myself to kind of continue what I've been doing in the previous starts and have fun,
And that last start, really the only time he has gotten away from that, and he hasn't been the guy that he wants to be, the guy who throws strikes, who keeps his team in the game, works quickly. We've seen it here tonight, guys.
And he gets a pop-up off the bat of Carlos Beltran. Left fielder Delino to Shields.
Tough play for Adrian. he's thanking for Delino to come in to get that.
Somebody take that. One left, 7-0 Rangers. Mission of providing educational scholarships to families of military members who have been killed or disabled while serving our country. For more information, visit foxsportsupports.com. And our thanks to all the men and women serving around the world that are protecting our freedoms, and certainly on this Memorial Day weekend, remember those who have given the ultimate sacrifice for all of us and our ability to enjoy baseball and the other freedoms we have in this country. Fourth inning gets underway with Robinson Chirinos leading things off. Chirinos walked in that third inning, and that turned out to be a very important at-bat. It was followed by a botched sacrifice bunt, botched by Pineda himself. Boy, that opened the floodgates. Rangers would go on to score 7 times. Hit pretty well to center. Backing up is Heathcott. One gone. So Chirinos flies out. Now Tommy Field. Folks kind of scurrying around below us. Looks like there might be a little bit of light rain falling here at Yankee Stadium. The forecast was for maybe some widely scattered light showers around. And hopefully that's what this is. Field takes a strike in at the knees. Tommy had the sacrifice bunt that turned into a very big play. It was thrown away by Pineda. Ended up loading the bases for the top of the order, and that got things going. And Field shoots one into center for a base hit. No, Tommy hitting .222 prior to that at bat, and he is aboard with a 1-out single. Well, folks, the Texas Rangers and Fox Sports Southwest are planning special games to honor local universities. The next University Day is for Aggies. That's coming up Thursday, May 28th. A University Day ticket includes exciting Rangers baseball and a Texas Rangers cap in your school's colors. Visit TexasRangers.com/UDays to get your tickets and see a lineup of all University Days this season. 1 on, 1 out. Delino to Shields up for his third at bat. Delino 0 for 2, but he does have an RBI and a run scored. Nothing and 1. Well, Delino now with 10 runs driven in. This is a guy who, until about 3 weeks ago, hadn't been seeing regular playing time by any means. But you go back over the last 10 ball games, he's been a .371 hitter. Chopper up the middle by Gregorius into center, a base hit. Field will stop at second. Delino to Shields, another base hit. He has now hit safely in his last 3 ball games consecutively.
He's just concentrating on making some contact. He had 2 strikes on him when he hit the ground ball that resulted in an RBI and an error. Put the ball in play, though. Didn't strike out. Put the ball in play up the middle. Even if they make a play, you're not going to throw him out on that kind of a ground ball.
So 7 base hits now for the Rangers. Michael Pineda in a reeling out there with 1 out here in the 4th inning. Larry Rothschild, the pitching coach for the Yankees, out to slow things down a bit and give the bullpen an opportunity to get up and going again. Got Field at second, DeShields at first, both of them with singles. And again, Rogers up as he was last inning. A 2 on 1 out for Shin-Soo Choo. Choo had a base hit and drove in a run in that 3rd inning. Shin-Soo came into play having just gone 2 for 13 in Boston, but he's 1 for 2 here tonight. 1 ball, no strikes. Still, you go back over the month of May for Choo. Came in as a .318 hitter. Got Field and DeShields second and first. One ball and 1 strike.
The changeup. I'd say if he wants to get through the middle of the lineup this time around, he better make good use of his slider and his curveball with pretty good command. His fastball is just not going to be dominating enough to cause major problems for the middle of the lineup. But if he locates his slider and his changeup, he can navigate his way through it.
Drew to Gregorius, back to first. Teixeira takes it for the double play. 4-6-3. Rangers are gone in the 4th. No runs, 2 hits, and 1 left. After 3.5, it's the Rangers 7, the Yankees nothing. Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. And by the Mazda 6. J.D. Power has awarded the Mazda 6 highest ranked vehicle appeal among midsize cars. The sun setting in the west of Yankee Stadium. And the Rangers making the sunset on the Yankees at 7-0 as the Yankees come to bat here in the 4th inning. Alex Rodriguez, Mark Teixeira, and Brian McCann to face Colby Lewis.
Colby's making a lot of good pitches. A lot of strikes. 45 pitches, 31 strikes.
Rodriguez went down swinging the first time that he faced Colby. Former teammates back in the early 2000s in Texas. Hit well to center field. Going back and playing the ball on one hop off the wall is Leonis Martin, and into second with a ringing double is Alex Rodriguez.
I'm sure that's a pitch Colby would like to have back. Got Alex 0-2. He's trying to throw it down and in. The ball comes right back in the center square. If these first 2 pitches were right on the corners, one down and away, one inside. No balls, 2 strikes. Tried to do it again with his fastball. Instead, he got it right down the middle of the plate, and Alex ripped that ball to center field.
So 3rd hit of the evening for the Yankees against Colby. 1 on, nobody out. Mark Teixeira takes a strike. Rangers again going into the extreme overshift with Teixeira batting from the left side. First time up, Teixeira grounded out to shallow right, or actually medium right, where Tommy Fields is playing. 0-2. Tommy a good 40-50 feet out in right field. Need to use hand signals to get together with Elvis on who's covering. Colby's 0-2. You know, you were talking, Tom, about Mark Teixeira the last couple of years, not up to his standards. And 2013 was the only year since he established himself at the big league level since 2003 that he hadn't had 20 or more home runs. He has been a remarkably consistent power hitter. Just outside, 2-2. And Colby waiting for the Rangers to align their defense the way they need to. Now the right-hander's ready. And misses with a breaking ball. Full count to Teixeira. Teixeira batting 4th in the order. He'll be followed by the Yankee catcher, Brian McCann. Chirinos with a series of signs for Colby. Now the payoff pitch. Loop to left field. Right at Delino DeShields. Out number 1.
It was a good 3-2 pitch. He didn't just throw a strike for the sake of throwing a strike. Threw a quality strike. On the outside corner, tailing away from Tex. All he could do is kind of reach out, put the ball in play. And it was a routine play for Delino out in left field. Well, there's one big out.
And Rodriguez staying at second base. Brian McCann now will come up. McCann grounded out to Mitch Moreland. Made a fine play back behind the bag. That was as he led off the 2nd inning. McCann, a .232 average now. Colby's first pitch. Drops in the off-speed delivery for strike 1. McCann, another guy who's been a remarkably consistent home run producer. Lines to right field. Chu over to his right. He can't make the play. It gets by him. He lost it in the lights. Around third is Rodriguez. He will score. And a double for McCann makes it a 7-1 Ranger lead.
Off the bat, it looked like it was going to be a hit. Then you saw Chu coming after it. Looked like he was going to be able to make the catch. And then right at the end, looked like he ducked out of the way, evidently losing it in the lights behind first base. And you see the way he looked away from it.
Well, the Ranger lead now down to a 6-run advantage. 7-1. Chase Headley up there with McCann at second base. Strike one. Headley also a ground out to Moreland in the second inning. Yankees now a run on 4 hits. 3 of them have been doubles tonight. 0-2. Headley with a 4-game hitting streak coming into play tonight. And that hitting, the breaking ball down and in. A literal back foot breaking ball.
And Kobe's had 2 batters this inning, 0-2. Alex hit a double, and now Headley gets hit by a pitch. He's not getting out of the way of that pitch. He knows it's a slow curveball. He's down 0-2. He's happy to get hit by that pitch.
I take it back as a front foot breaking ball.
Yeah.
No, 2 on, still just 1 out. Stephen Drew, the hitter. Drew, nothing for 1 tonight. 1 ball, no strikes. Drew coming off a Yankee road trip that saw him go just 5 for 31, a 161 mark. Colby drops in the off-speed pitch. That evens things up at a ball and a strike. Colby with a check of second. Couldn't get the swing. 2-1 now. Drew this season with runners in scoring position, not so hot. 190 the average. He's got Brian McCann out there at second. Chase Headley over at first. That's out of play on the third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Keeping that out away from Stephen Drew. Rangers continuing to play well on the road. They come into play tonight 12-10 this year away from home. That breaking ball down, it fills the count. Well, Colby now trying to deal to Drew with 2 on and 1 out. D.D. Gregorius, the shortstop, will follow. Payoff pitch coming. Call strike 3. Drew gonna half-heartedly argue the call by Ron Kolpa, but to no avail. Colby gets his second strikeout, and there are 2 away.
Well, the hitter's not going to like that call, but there it is right at the bottom of the strike zone. Perfect pitch by Colby. Big strikeout, too. Try to limit the damage here to 1 run.
D.D. Gregorius tapped one right back to the mound his first time. He's got McCann at second, Headley at first. 2 outs here in the 4th. He appealed down to third. And Murray Vanover said no, he didn't swing. 1 ball, no strikes. Gregorius, a .212 hitter as he faces Lewis. That ball's hit well to right field. Chu is going back. That ball's gone. D.D. Gregorius with his first home run of the year. A 3-run blast. It is 7-4 Rangers.
We're talking about Colby doing a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's only given up 3 home runs this year. And that's a guy you don't expect to give one up to. He's been up 112 times. only had 4 extra base hits, but that slider is right in the center of the plate. A couple of times this innings, Kobe's been hurt by that location. Once by Alex Rodriguez, and that time Peter Vargas got a pitch he could get out in front of. Probably couldn't get out in front of a fastball, but that hanging slider was right to his liking.
So a 4-run inning for the Yankees here in the 4th. They still only have 2 outs. Slade Heathcott is up there. And he's ahead of the count now. 2 balls, no strikes. For the Yankees, that's their 48th home run as a team this year. They're second in the American League in long balls. This one's popped up left side of the infield. Elvis takes care of it, and that will do it. But the Yankees strike for 4 runs on 3 hits. Nobody left. What do we have going here? It's catcher's interference. I beg your pardon. Ron Coppola signaling catcher's interference, and that puts Heathcott at first. And the error goes to Robinson Chirinos. He got that glove a little too far out there.
I thought he got jammed, but the reason the ball didn't jump off his bat was because it hit the glove.
Yep. You can see by the reaction, and immediately Ron Coppola signaling that he heard that tick off the glove. So the inning continues. That goes down as no at bat for Heathcott. An error on Robinson Chirinos. A 1 on, 2 out. Brett Gardner 1 for 2 tonight. And low and inside, ball 2. Long inning for Colby. He's up to 26 pitches now in this frame.
Yeah, Kobe had retired 8 out of 9 batters, was really cruising along entering the 4th inning, got ahead of Alex Rodriguez 0-2. And it's been a tough inning ever since.
Knee-high strike. Now we've talked about it too. You get into an inning like this, and your chance for a mistake in location certainly goes up the more pitches you throw in that inning. Even for a guy that has the experience of Colby Lewis. 2-1 the count to Gardner. Now 2-2 after the foul ball. Inning by inning for Colby Lewis. 29 in this 4th inning. And been cruising along at 43 coming into this frame. Heathcott at first. The 2-2 pitch coming. In the dirt. And the count is full. Well, Colby now just 1 pitch away from maybe bringing the tying run to home plate in this 4th inning. Got a 3-2 count to Gardner. If he loses him, Carlos Beltran will come up as the tying run. Colby already with 5 full counts in this game. Runner on the move. 3-2, got him swinging. No doubt about that one. Gardner left stranded at the plate. 4 runs though across for the Yankees. We'll go to the 5th inning. Rangers 7, Yankees 4. Cup begins as Alex Morgan leads the U.S. women's national team against the best teams in the world in search of their third World Cup title. The only place you can see the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup is on Fox and Fox Sports 1 beginning June 6th. Well, things have gotten a little more interesting. You happen to be Michael Pineda back out there now with just a 3-run deficit. You're trying to get your ball club back in the dugout to see if they can swing the bats again. But first, you've got to deal with the middle of the Ranger order. Prince Fielder, the big 3-run home run in the third inning, leading things off. Prince 1 for 2. For Fielder now, he is tied for the team lead in home runs. He and Shin-Soo Choo each have half a dozen. 26 runs driven in for the big guy. Belt high strike. It is 1-1. Rangers 7 runs on 7 hits. Yankees 4 runs on 5 hits. Yankees have committed 2 errors. The Rangers 1. Fielder hits that right off the end of the bat. Let's take a look at our AT&T U-verse rewind tonight. Take you back to the third inning. Prince Fielder with 2 on. Well, he got a hanging slider and hit a rope that got out of here in no time into the second deck. That was the home run that was the big blow of that third inning for the Rangers. That 7-run third inning. Hard hit up the middle, but right there is Gregorius. Prince busting him down the line, but Gregorius throws him out by a step and a half. 1 gone. Well, Fielder back to the dugout, 1 for 3 tonight. And Adrian Beltre coming up. Beltre has been called out on strikes and popped out to second. 0 for 2 with the average at .256. Breaking ball settles a bit low for ball 1. Adrian, in his time here in New York, at both Yankee stadiums, the old one and the new one, just a .223 career average. This is his 45th game. Two balls, no strikes. Pineda into the wide. And Beltre sounded like he busted his bat. Hit it off the end of the bat down the right field side, back into the seats. He's going to have to get a new piece of lumber. Got some firewood for next winter. And that's not the right one. He wants the one with the hits in it. There you go. I think that's his doubles bat. Saving the home run bat until he gets some people on base. 2-1. And the breaking ball again low. 3 balls and a strike. Beltre. The cleanup man in the Ranger order, Mitch Moreland, will follow the Ranger third baseman to the plate. Chopper just foul outside third.
Adrian gave a little clap to him. Nice play by Headley.
Yeah, it was.
He was up in a hurry too. He's ready to throw this ball.
Well, the count is now full to Beltre. Ouch. Beltre's going to have to walk that off a little bit.
Those spinning sliders that just never broke back into the strike zone. Stayed right up and in.
So still 3-2 with one out. In the air to center field. Heathcott over and in. Makes the grab. There are 2 outs. Now Mitch Moreland coming up. Let's take a look back at his last at bat against Michael Pineda. Mitch Moreland got a fastball up just about letter high, and that ball going out never got much above letter high. It was a rope for Mitch. That is home run number 4 for the year. Breaking ball catches the outside corner. 0-1. Mitch now a 6-game hitting streak, and he's had 3 home runs in those 6 games. Broken bat roller to the right side. And Teixeira to Pineda. That'll do it. So the Rangers go quietly 1-2-3 here in the 5th. We played half the ball game. It's the Rangers 7, the Yankees 4 on Fox Sports Southwest. Carlos, the only active major league player to hit at least 15 home runs in a single season for 5 different teams. Carlos getting that done with the Royals, with whom he broke in. Astros, Mets, Cardinals, and Yankees. Cold hard fact brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. Beltran 0 for 2 tonight. He is twice flied out to left field. 1-1 pitch to him. That's line to center, right at Leonis Martin. 1 gone. Oh, Alex Rodriguez coming up before he steps in. Let's send it back to John Radigan for a Mazda game break. John. All right, John, thank you.
And J.D. Martinez coming back to haunt his ex-team.
Yep. Alex Rodriguez a drive to deep left field, stopping just shy of the warning track, though. Delino to Shields.
Just missed it.
Waits for it to come down out of the night sky. That's out number 2.
Astros basically let J.D. Martinez go. Tigers picked him up last year. Had a pretty nice year for him. Showing some pretty good power numbers this year as well.
So 2 gone. Here's Mark Teixeira. And he's first ball swinging. Delino's been busy. He'll take care of that, and Colby Lewis works a very quick and tidy 1-2-3 fifth. We'll move on to the 6th inning at Yankee Stadium. Rangers leading the Yankees 7-4. Tonight's jackpot is worth $400 plus dinner for two and Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for Johnny McFarland from Crowley, Texas. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Johnny McFarland from Crowley will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Here in our Sonic Slam inning, it'll be Elvis Andrus, Leonis Martin, and Robinson Chirinos to face Michael Pineda. Pineda somehow has gotten himself back together after a very difficult 3rd inning. And he gave up a couple of hits in the 4th, but the double play got him out of that frame and worked a 1-2-3 fifth. He fires strike one here to Elvis. Elvis 1 for 2 tonight, a single back in the 2nd. One ball and 1 strike. Rangers 7 runs on 7 hits this evening. Couple of home runs, now 42 home runs for Ranger hitters. And they've now homered in 7 straight ball games. Inside corner. 1-2. 7 consecutive games with a homer, the longest streak for the Rangers this year. In the air to right, Beltran. 1 gone. Next will be Leonis Martin. Amazing how things can go so wrong for you the way they did in the 3rd inning for Pineda, and all of a sudden a couple things go right and he looks like an entirely different pitcher.
Yeah, same with Colby. Colby had that 4th inning, struggled to get the last out. Then the 5th inning, I don't know how many pitches, 5 or 6 pitches.
Right.
It's 3 up, 3 down, right out of the middle of the lineup.
Well, Leonis Martin shoots one the opposite way. His 2nd hit of the evening. Leonis now starting to get on base with a little more frequency the last 5 games now. Here the inning by inning breakdown of the pitch totals for Pineda. 29 pitches in that 3rd inning. Other than that, well, 2nd was 21, but 50 pitches in those 2 innings, 37 in the rest of the innings.
It has not been a dominating, even close to dominating performance for Pineda. He's battling and he's pitching, mixing in all his pitches. But he's only had a couple of strikeouts in the game. He only had 1 strikeout in his last game against Kansas City.
Yeah, you kind of have to wonder if 16 strikeout game didn't take something out of him.
Yeah.
0-1 to Chirinos.
He's had 3 strikeouts in the last 11 innings.
Leonis, a pretty good lead at first. He's on the move. Pitch is swung on and missed. The throw is not in time. Leonis Martin revving up that motor and swiping second.
A nice throw by McCann. Quick delivery. Pretty good jump. Really nice throw. It's one of those plays, Buzz, where the fielder comes way out in front of the bag to catch it and then has to bring his glove all the way back to tag him.
Yep.
You don't know what would have happened if he waited back to catch it. Maybe the ball hits the runner. It's tough to say. As it is, it was a nice throw, but Leonis was able to beat it.
Martin with his 7th stolen base of the year. He's now 7 out of 10. And Robinson Chirinos going after that breaking ball with no success. That is out number 2. 3rd strikeout for Michael Pineda tonight.
Bottom dropped out of this pitch.
Thinking that was a straight changeup. I think about it. From up here, it looked like it was a breaking ball.
It broke straight down, but probably was his changeup. Nice pitch.
Tommy Field is 1 for 1 tonight. Had a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd. Singled his last time up. That was in the 5th. Strike 1. Field now a .250 season average. One other note on that stolen base by Leonis Martin. That was the 32nd for the Rangers this year. They came in 3rd in the American League in team steals, moving up the charts. Pineda, a belt high set, a check of second. Nothing at 2 to Field. Tommy Field getting his 9th start in the 11 games that he's been with the club. Called up on the 11th from Round Rock. Hitting well down at AAA with a .298 average. Chops that pitch foul. We remarked when he came up that 5 home runs that he hit at AAA in 28 games. Kind of unusual for a middle infielder, but he's showing that kind of power here too. Couple of home runs. Texas native up there facing Pineda. 1 on, 2 out. No balls, 2 strikes to count in the 6th inning. We're worried about that runner at second base with 2 outs. Not going to.
An 0-2 count.
Yeah, and an 0-2 count. You would be worried about what the hitter's doing. Check swing. Pretty good slider down and away. A ball and 2 strikes. Tommy Field originally came up with the Colorado Rockies. Rangers brought him to spring training this year and had a good showing down in Arizona. Got him swinging. Pineda gets a couple of strikeouts in the inning. Rangers get a hit but strand a runner. After 5.5, it remains the Rangers 7 and the Yankees 4. And the first 15,000 fans will receive a Texas Rangers yearbook. Don't miss your chance to get this annual collectible. Just visit TexasRangers.com for tickets. Well, a 7-4 Ranger lead. Colby Lewis back to the hill to work the 6th inning. You have one of those selfie sticks, Tom?
No, I don't.
No, okay.
I just don't get it all. I'm too old.
Yeah,
I just don't get it. I don't mind it, and do what you got to do, but I haven't figured it out yet. Just seems like more and more there's a whole bunch of people really interested in everything about themselves.
Yeah.
And they want everybody to know it. I want to take a picture of myself. I want to tell you what I'm doing all day long. And I really think you're going to like it and be very interested in it.
Ryan McCann interested in that as he grounds out to Mitch Moreland. And apparently Emily Jones has something to tell us about that. Em?
Well, first of all, I hate to interrupt Tom Grieve's thoughts on social media because they are absolute television gold, but I do interrupt this to bring you some injury news. Kyle Blanks has been put on the 15-day DL. He had a cyst that was actually removed today. I can't pronounce the name of the cyst, but I can tell you that it's not harmful. He had it removed today. He'll be on the 15-day DL, and Jake Smolinski is here in his steed, guys.
All right, Em, thank you.
Now feel free to resume social media talk with Tom Reeve.
You saved me, Em, before I got too far into it and made somebody mad.
Tom Grieve Unfiltered is never a bad thing, I'll tell you that.
It's really not an indictment of social media. It's just an admission by someone that's a little too old to get it. Because it obviously is very pleasing to a lot of people.
Tom, I still love
However, my demographic out there, I'll guarantee you they're right there with me.
They are. They are lined up behind you. They are.
I'm just now getting used to my 8-track, so I don't know about that.
I'm just proud that both you guys text message. That's all I know.
There you go.
As long as we can all text, I think we're all in good shape.
I ever told you how long it took me to figure out that stuff, Em?
I'm glad they got rid of the phones where you had like ABC on one key and you had to click it like a couple of times.
I know it's made
that just wasn't worth it.
Your fantasy football life so much better, Tom. I remember when you called me and you were researching the iPad and is it a good investment for you and your fantasy football team and what you would be doing on it, and I said, let's go for it.
Well,
go for it, Tag.
That was good advice. I appreciate that. Fantasy football is probably the only reason I know how to use an iPad.
Well, our median age between the three of us is probably what?
Well, it's brought down significantly by you.
You bring it down a lot. Yeah, I mean a lot. Colby coming back from a 3-0 count to fill things out against Stephen Drew. 2 outs, bases empty here in the 6th. Colby now has retired the last 6 that he has faced. Settling back down, protecting that lead. Drew 0 for 2. And we'll try the 3-2 pitch again. That's always a go-to with you. Anything about social media, I know I can get it right. Think you're slowed down a little bit.
I'm really not doing it. I'm doing it to make fun of myself, not to offend anybody that's solidly in social media. So please don't take it that way.
Adrian Beltre camped under that, puts it away, and that's 7 straight now, sent down by Colby. We have gotten through 6 innings here at Yankee Stadium. The Rangers 7, the Yankees 4 on Fox Sports Southwest. We got a 3-game weekend series here in New York. Tomorrow afternoon and Sunday night. And then it's on to Cleveland. Memorial Day afternoon game in Cleveland. Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. Then it's back home to face the Red Sox and the White Sox. Red Sox series will finish out the month of May. And that is what the Rangers have in store for you as we head to the 7th inning here tonight. Michael Pineda is finished for the evening. He goes 6 innings. Gives up 8 hits, 7 runs, 4 of them earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and a couple of home runs. And Chasen Shreve, the rookie left-hander out of Las Vegas, 24-year-old, on to take over.
Yankees got some great names. Chasen Shreve, Slade Heathcott. Love those names.
Now, Shreve came over in the offseason, acquired from the Atlanta system. Shreve had 15 games last year with the Braves at the big league level. David Carpenter went to Atlanta. That deal consummated the 1st of January this year. Dealing to the top of the order, that means Delino DeShields. A count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Delino 1 for 3 tonight. Had a single his last time up. Reached center fielder's choice, scored a run, driven in a run. And again, Delino, boy, right in the middle of everything offensively for the Rangers. Shreve with the 1-1 pitch coming. Now 2-1. Last time Chasen Shreve was out there was a couple of days ago in the stop at Washington for the Yankees, the finishing stop on that road trip. And he misses low. 3 balls and a strike. No, Delino trying to get aboard again to start off an inning. Shin-Soo Choo, the number 2 hitter, will swing the bat next.
Hey, unusual game. 7-4. Each team has only scored in 1 inning.
That'll fill the count. Yeah.
Good ball to take right there. Not his pitch. Don't even know if it was a strike. Borderline strike. Definitely not something you'd want to swing at 3-1 though.
Shreve set the left-hander with a 3-2. That's a line to center. That chases Heathcott back and near the warning track. He's able to run it down. Well, Delino gave that a pretty good ride.
He hit that ball right on the button. Heathcott has excellent speed. Terrific outfielder with a great arm.
Good low fastball. Our Skag pitch tracker showing that right in the good hitting zone for Delino DeShields. But he comes away empty. So 1 out. Here's Shin-Soo Choo, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI single and a run scored. Shreve gets the call on the outside corner. Choo has never fared well at New Yankee Stadium. This is his 18th game here as a visiting player. A 188 average coming into play tonight. That's gone up a couple of points with the 1 for 3, but this has not been one of his favorite hitting parts. Or 0-2 the count to him with 1 out. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Choo for the first time in 18 games batting somewhere other than leadoff. Jeff Bannister dropped him down to the 2nd spot tonight with Delino DeShields in the leadoff. Got him swinging. Went up a bit, and Choo couldn't get on top of it. First strikeout for Shreve. 2 gone, and Prince Fielder will be next. Fielder 1 for 3 tonight. But that one carried a lot of weight. The big 3-run home run in the 3rd inning. Shreve's first pitch. It's a little bit high for ball 1. You know, we talked about Beltre and Chu and guys that have a lot of at-bats in this ballpark not having very good numbers. That doesn't include Prince Fielder. He is a .364 hitter over his last 8 ball games here. And that ball is blasted to center field. Heathcott going back at the wall. Goodbye. Prince Fielder with his 2nd home run of the night. And he got every bit of that one to dead center field. The Rangers lead it 8-4.
It's nice to put another run on the board instead of just staying at 7 and see if the Yankees can catch up. Add to that lead. Big guys launched a couple of them tonight, boy. Another hanging breaking ball. Shreve knew it too. He didn't even watch it go out of the ballpark. I don't think he had to.
Now Fielder now with 7 home runs. Beltre going the other way. Soft fly ball to Beltran, and that will do it. Prince Fielder answering the call, gets his 2nd home run of the night. The Rangers, after 6.5, lead it 8-4. Now let's join the public address announcer as he introduces God Bless America. About offense, and the big guy Prince Fielder got it going, a 3-run home run. That was in the 3rd inning. That was followed very shortly by Mitch Moreland's blast to right field. That thing got out of here in a hurry. And a solo home run for Prince Fielder in the 7th inning. 8-4 the score. And Didi Gregorius leading off here in the 7th, flies out to center field for out number 1. Prince Fielder is 26th multi-home run game tonight. Last time he had one was back in 2013 as a member of the Tigers. Colby pumping in strike 1 to Slade Heathcott. Heathcott 1 out of 2 this evening. And Emily has some more info on Slade Heathcott. Em?
Well, guys, through the wonders of modern technology, we learned that Slade Heathcott actually played for Rusty Greer in a summer league. Rusty with glowing things to say about him, including the fact that he is a true 5-tool player.
And I think we've seen all 5 of those, or 4 of those 5 anyway. We haven't seen him throw yet. But apparently he's got a pretty good arm too.
Yeah, he was also a pitcher in high school. Actually threw 93 to 95 miles an hour. A lot of scouts liked him as a pitcher. So that's a pretty talented high school player that can attract scouts for 93 to 95 mile an hour fastball, and also a guy that can run, play center field, and hit.
And he's got his 2nd hit tonight. His first 2 major league hits. The first one was a double. Now an infield single. He's on with 1 out. And Brett Gardner up for his 4th at bat. Takes outside for ball 1. Gardner 1 for 3, a 1st inning single. Yankees now 6 base hits against Colby Lewis. That base hit snapped a streak of 8 straight Yankees that Colby had retired. To center field, Leonis Martin in a hurry and on the run. Leon is able to track it down. 2 gone. And before Carlos Beltran comes up, let's send it back for a Mazda game break. Here's John Radigan. All right, John, thank you. Boy, the Red Sox reeling up there. Rangers took 2 out of 3 from them and held them to 2 runs total the last 2 nights. Angels go in there and put 11 on the board. Carlos Beltran lost one out of play down the left side, back into the seats. It is 0-1. Beltran 0 for 3 tonight. All 3 fly balls, 2 to left, 1 to center. 1 on, 2 out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Just a bit outside. 1-1. Colby now getting ready to unleash his 100th pitch of the night. And with the exception of that 4th inning, he has been in total control. Good breaking ball. Took something off and got the swinging strike 2. Colby throwing both the slider and the curveball there. Curveball a little bit slower, a little more downward break. Hit hard and pulled foul well down the right side. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Yankee notes make note of the fact that Carlos Beltran and Mark Teixeira are tied for switch hitting home runs. Both have 375. That's the 4th most all time. They also make note that the next closest, number 3 on the list, is Chipper Jones, but He's about 90 ahead of him. So it'll be a while before they can catch up to him, if they do. Two and two. Slap the other way, and that is through for a base hit. Well, the shift giveth and the shift taketh away, and that time it gave to the hitter.
Now you get to the critical part of the ball game where you've got a nice lead, but there's a couple of men out, and you've got the home run hitters coming up for the Yankees.
So that home run that Prince Fielder hit in the top of the seventh looms pretty large right now. Gave the Rangers a 4-run lead, and that ensures that Alex Rodriguez in this situation is not the tying run. Sam Freeman, left-hander, up and loose in that Ranger bullpen. Alex Rodriguez 1 for 3 tonight with a double. Rodriguez currently a .248 hitter. Got Heathcott at second. Beltran at first. And lines one into center. That's a base hit. Heathcott around third will come in to score without a throw. Rodriguez with the RBI. It's an 8-5 ball game, and now the tying run will come up. For Alex Rodriguez, that is a historic RBI. That's his 1,992nd career RBI. That ties him with the immortal Babe Ruth on the all-time list. Just one behind Lou Gehrig for the most ever in American League history. And as it turns out, that RBI single, not only historic for Alex Rodriguez, but it's going to be history for Colby Lewis as he is out of the ball game. Sam Freeman coming on. Runners at first and second with 2 outs here in the seventh. Rangers leading by 3. We're back after this. To Sam Freeman, 27-year-old left-hander, the Hebron High School alum. On now to see if he can get Mark Teixeira. They turn Teixeira around to hit from the right side. He is the tying run in this ball game with 2 outs here in the 7th inning. And Freeman pours in strike 1. Teixeira 0 for 3 tonight. He's up there with Beltran, the runner at second. Alex Rodriguez over at first.
Sam came in firing, popped that one on the scoreboard at 96.
Left-hander's next pitch. And he's ahead of the count now. No balls and 2 strikes. Teixeira, left-handed this year, the .261 hitter, right-handed .233. Jeff Bannister wanting to turn him around to his weaker side against the left-hander Sam Freeman. Freeman ahead of the count, 0-2. Now a ball and 2 strikes. Sam Freeman came over in a trade in St. Louis back on the last several days of spring training. Sam, as I mentioned, from Hebron High School up in Carrollton, and also played some college ball at North Central Texas College before going to University of Kansas for a couple of years. 2-2 now. Skag pitch tracker. Only that number 4 pitch there, just off the inside corner. 2 on with 2 out. A run across here in the 7th inning. Still 2-2.
Probably not where he was aiming that pitch.
I think that's why Robinson Chirinos went out there and had a little chat with him.
Yeah, so don't do that again.
Let's stay out of that area. Tommy Field will throw on over to Mitch Moreland, and that will do it. So Freeman comes on to get Teixeira. The Yankees do score a run, but they leave 2 aboard. We're going to the 8th inning. It's now the Rangers 8 and the Yankees 5. Red Sox. And fans will also be treated to a post-game fireworks show set to music that will kick off the start of summer. Head to TexasRangers.com/tickets and pick up your seats. Well, an 8-5 Ranger lead as we head to the 8th inning. Jason Shreve back out there, and he will deal to Mitch Moreland, Elvis Andrus, and Leonis Martin. Rangers with 9 hits, 3 of them home runs tonight. 1 of them by the man at the plate. That was Mitch Moreland, solo blast in the 3rd. 0-1. Mitch now 4 home runs, 15 RBI, batting at .313. 1 ball, 1 strike. Our T-Mobile game changer, speaking of Mitch Moreland. With a 500 average with 10 runs driven in 10 Ranger wins that he's played in this year. He's hitting 163 in their 14 losses. Well, it's a pretty direct relationship between Mitch swinging the bat well and the Rangers winning. One ball and 2 strikes here. Shreve gets the signal and comes set. And Mitch bangs one into left field for a base hit. Oh, Moreland 2 for 4. And he leads off the 8th inning by getting aboard. And it looks like that's going to be it for Jason Shreve, with the right-hander Elvis Andrus coming up.
Good fastball, down and away, and a great job by Mitch. He not only slapped that ball in left field, he drove that ball in left field.
Sure did.
Right on the button.
So Joe Girardi out to take the ball from Shreve, and he wants the bullpen to enter once again here in the 8th inning. So 1 on, nobody out. Rangers leading by 3, looking for more. We're back after this timeout. This evening, Miguel Cabrera, the Tigers, 1 for 2 with a double. Alex Gordon, an 0-fer. And Chase Utley, the Phillies, 1 for 3 with a double. Go to DraftKings.com and enter the promo code D-Town. David Carpenter, right-hander, on now for his 17th appearance of the year. He inherits Mitch Moreland at first base, nobody out. Elvis Andrus at the plate. Carpenter last worked 3 days ago in Washington. And a chopper foul by Elvis. It is 0-1. Elvis 1 for 3. That single coming back in the 2nd inning. Since then, he has grounded out and flied out. Rangers now in double figures in hits as they continue to swing the bats well. 10 hits tonight, along with their 8 runs. Team came in among the American League leaders for the month of May in slugging percentage. Also in hits and home runs, walks. There's a base hit up the middle. Moreland will check in at second, and Elvis has his 2nd hit. He is 2 for 4. Rangers have the first 2 hitters aboard here in the 8th inning. Leonis Martin coming up. Well, Leonis is 2 for 3. He has a pair of singles, 1 to right, 1 to left. Yankees deciding what kind of a defense they want to employ in case Leonis is asked to bunt. Rangers leading by 3, so they have the luxury of playing for a run or two or trying to get another big inning going. And a foul tip. That ball got Brian McCann. He was coming out of the crouch to pounce on a bunt had it gone in fair territory. He got him on the right foot. McCann walking that off and figured he'd just take a stroll out and talk to Carpenter and whoever else would listen to him. 0-1 to Martin. Rangers 11 hits tonight. They have a couple to start off this 8th inning, looking to pad their lead, which currently is 8-5. The bunt is down. Put some backspin on it so it doesn't get very far onto the grass, and McCann throws out Leonis Martin. The sacrifice goes 2-4. Put out at first base. Moreland to third. Andrews to second. And with one out, Robinson Chirinos coming up.
Ball didn't even move out of the spot it hit the ground at. It might have rolled around a little bit, but wherever it hit, that's where it stayed.
So now with Chirinos at the plate, the Yankees draw the infield all the way in. They will try and cut the run down at home. And Chirinos takes a strike from Carpenter. Robinson, a walk and a run scored. He is 0 for 2 officially. Fly out in the 4th, a strikeout in the 6th. 15 runs driven in for the Ranger catcher. Good breaking ball from Carpenter. And the right-hander has the advantage in the count now at 0-2. Time called momentarily. Chirinos lately has had 3 RBI in his last 4 ball games. Also gone 5 for 15 in the previous 4. Couldn't get him to offer at that one again. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Can checking with Carpenter and get their signal straight, so there's no chance of miscommunication. Joe Girardi, a former catcher himself, an interested spectator at the moment. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count. That will even things out. Chirinos with an average at 186 as he faces David Carpenter here. 3-2. Now Chirinos, an opportunity to get on base and load the bases for Tommy Field, the number 9 hitter, who was waiting to be next. Carpenter leaning in for the sign. The right-hander's ready. Payoff pitch. High and tight. Look out. Got low bridge. And Chirinos will draw the 1-out walk. Well, that loads him up with Tommy Field coming up.
Carpenter has a pretty good fastball. 96 with that one as it bores up and in right near the chin of Robinson. Glad he got out of the way of that one.
You said Carpenter has a pretty good fastball. Chirinos would agree with you after that pitch.
Yeah.
That was a close shave.
He smelled that one go by. Probably heard it too.
Tommy Field steps in 1 for 2. And he bangs one by Headley down the line. Marlins scores. Andrus right behind him. Into third, Robinson Chirinos. And into second with a 2-run double, Tommy Field. The Rangers lead at 10-5.
Well, the Yankees were hanging around. The Rangers made a little statement with that base hit by Tommy. Turned a 3-run lead into a 5-run lead late in the ball game. Big hit. Bases loaded. Got a spinner right in the middle of the plate. And ripped it past Headley at third base.
Well, the Rangers open up a 5-run advantage now. Tommy Field with 2 more runs driven in. He has 5 in his short stay with the Rangers. Here's Delino to Shields for his 5th time to the plate. He takes strike 1. Delino 1 for 4. That one a base hit back in the 4th inning. He's also driven in a run, scored a run tonight. Again, the Yankees playing the infield all the way in. That's out of play on the right side, and the count moves to 0-2. Now, one of the 2 runs in this inning go on the ledger of Jason Shreve. The other run is on Carpenter's book. Shreve charged with 2 runs in his inning of work. Calls strike 3. Shields backing away from that Carpenter fastball. He takes it for the 3rd strike. 2 gone.
That's a tough call right there. Got a chance, men 2nd and 3rd, and only 1 out. Put the ball in play, pick up an RBI, and have that pitch called a strike.
Juan Culpa, the home plate umpire, channeling his inner pitcher for that call.
I think that ball had so much late movement on it, it might have fooled him a little bit. Right at the end, it just moved, whatever that is, 3 or 4 inches inside.
Shin-Soo Choo up there, 1 for 4 tonight. And an RBI single and a run scored in the 3rd inning. With 2 outs now, the infield for the Yankees back at normal depth. Carpenter with a pretty lively fastball. It's 1-1. Choo, 2 strikeouts, a double play grounder, and the RBI single. Well, nothing fancy about that. A little extra mustard on that. And fastball above belt high. Shin-Soo at 234 with the average. Pulls this one down to Teixeira. Steps on the bag, that'll do it. But the Rangers had 2 very important runs. 2 runs on 3 hits and 2 left. Bottom of the 8th coming up. It's now the Rangers 10 and the Yankees 5. one for the first time as the greatest golfers in the world converge on the Pacific Northwest for a chance to stamp their names into the history books. Our exclusive coverage of the 115th U.S. Open Championship comes to you live from Chambers Bay Golf Course, and it begins on June 18th on Fox Sports 1, Fox, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Yeah, Sam Freeman, who got the last out of the 7th inning, comes out to start the 8th. He will face Brian McCann, Chase Headley, and Stephen Drew. Rangers adding 2 more in the 8th inning to extend their lead now at 10-5. Brian McCann 1 for 3 tonight. And Sam Freeman drops in that breaking ball for strike 1. McCann a .236 average. Another breaking ball, 0-2.
It was a good opportunity tonight for Sam to come in and impress the staff. He came in a 3-run game with a couple of men on, facing Mark Teixeira, who's having a great season so far. Got him to tap out to second base for a big out. The Rangers have added a couple, so it's a little bit bigger lead. Sam's going to get a chance here to pitch the 8th inning.
McCann just able to check his swing. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Now we mentioned all the left-handed hitters in the Yankee lineup against Colby Lewis tonight at the start. Only one pure right-handed hitter, and that was Alex Rodriguez. We got 3 switch hitters and 5 just left-handed swingers up there. McCann, one of those. Joe Girardi, skipper of the New York Yankees. He's in his 8th year here in New York. 670 wins for Girardi. One-two pitch from Freeman. It's all the way to the backstop. 2-2. Girardi, with those 670 wins, already moving up the franchise list. He is 6th most in Yankee history. Into the shift, and from shallow right field, medium right field, Tommy Field on to first for the out.
It's about as deep as anyone's fielding a ground ball this year.
Mitt's not really used to taking throws from that angle either.
Under normal conditions, guys playing straight up, that's routine ground ball into right field for a base hit. Now he's way out there. He's not used to making that long a throw to get an assist either.
Well, here's Chase Headley, who turns around to hit from the right side against Freeman. And a swinging strike 1. Headley has had one at bat in the past against Sam Freeman, went 0 for 1. .233 average. He pounds one into left field for a base hit. It stayed up a little bit out over the plate. And Headley with his first base knock of the evening. He was aboard with 1 out for Stephen Drew.
Well, Headley has parlayed 1 good year into a huge contract. You go back a ways, and he had that huge year where he hit 31 home runs, knocked in 115 runs. That was back in 2012. The most home runs he's ever had in a different season was 13. The most runs he's ever knocked in one season, other than the 115, was 64.
Yeah, Stephen Drew dumps in a soft single to center field. Back-to-back hits, and the Yankees coming back here in the 8th inning against Sam Freeman.
It's actually a pretty good time to be a ball player, Buzz. Last year, Headley hit .242 with 13 home runs and 49 RBIs with San Diego and New York. 13 home runs, 49 RBIs at .242. And he signed a 4-year contract with the Yankees for $52 million.
Timing is everything, right? Somebody will pay you.
What would Mike Schmidt have got? George Brett.
Part owner. That was the line that Joe DiMaggio gave out. Somebody asked him in an interview with all the back in the 60s. If you went in and talked to George Steinbrenner, how much would you ask for? And he said, I don't know how much I'd ask for, but I'd say, Joe, you and I are now partners.
Let's talk contract, partner.
Right. Now Jeff Bannister on his way out to the mound. You saw Tanner Shepard's out there in the Ranger bullpen. He is loose, ready to go. Chris Young, right-handed hitter, has been announced, and that's going to do it for Sam Freeman. So Freeman, in 2/3 of an inning, gives up a couple of hits, one soft single, and he will lead with 2 runners on base. Tanner Shepard's making his way in from left center field. We will take another timeout. We're back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Rangers.com/vote and vote for the Rangers as your favorite or second favorite team, and you get an offer for 50% off select games in August or September. Tanner Shepard with his 8th appearance of the year as he enters the ball game. He inherits runners at first and second, 1 out here in the 8th inning. Rangers leading 10-5. The first pitch to Garrett Jones, who is pinch hitting for the pinch hitter. Chris Young, right-handed hitter, was announced as a pinch hitter. Now Jones pinch hitting for him. Veteran left-handed swinger, and he has the count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Last time we saw Tanner Shepard, night before last, up in Boston, worked an inning and a third in that ball game. Gave up just 1 hit. This is his 3rd game since being back in the big leagues, and he is getting ahead of hitters, and that was a big problem that he had before. He just could not get ahead of hitters and put them away, and he has certainly turned that around since he came back. Ahead of the count here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fly ball right field. Chu back at the wall. That ball's gone. Garrett Jones a pinch hit 3-run home run. It is 10-8 Rangers.
Couldn't tell if he got it all until you looked at Chu, who was looking up and watching it go out of the ballpark. I don't think he had to reach for it, but you don't have to hit it that hard to get it out of right field.
Garrett Jones, a pinch hit 3-run home run. And all of a sudden, it has become a 2-run game.
All of a sudden, that 2-run double by Tommy Fields looks pretty big.
Well, for the Yankees this year, that is their 3rd pinch hit home run of the year. 1-2 pitch. Call strike 3. Heathcott got looking. Chirinos thought that was the 3rd out. He was headed to the dugout and thought better of it. Dugan.
Good movement on this pitch. Watch it start off inside and just keep on moving back to the middle of the plate. That looked like a ball most of the way to the plate till right at the end. By then it was too late to swing at.
A 2-away back to the top of the order. Brett Gardner takes outside for ball 1. One more note on that Garrett Jones home run. That's his first career pinch hit home run. Brett Gardner 1 for 4 tonight. 2-0. That snaps a string of scoreless outings for the Ranger bullpen. Pitch is low. Rangers came into play tonight with a 13-inning scoreless streak. Added 2/3 of an inning here before giving up the 3 runs. Three and 1 the count. Lost him. Gardner with a walk. And now Carlos Beltran coming to the plate, representing the tying run. And Mike Maddox going to head out to the mound. Ross Ohlendorf starting to loosen in that Ranger bullpen. This, for Mike, a visit to give Ohlendorf a little bit of time, also just to kind of smooth things over with Tanner Shepard. Make sure he's focused now on what he wants to do with Carlos Beltran. Trying to get some positivity going for the right-hander. Yeah, the extra runs the Rangers have added on have been the difference.
Yeah. You see that so often. You have a big lead and one big inning. You hang on to it. The other team chips away and catches up with you. The Rangers have done a good job. 1 in the 7th, 2 in the 8th to add on to their 7-run inning. They're trying to hang on right now with a 2-run lead.
First pitch to Beltran is low and outside for ball 1. Carlos Beltran, a single his last time up. 1 for 4 this evening. Rangers with 12 hits, the Yankees with 11 hits. 2-0. Beltran now with that base hit in the 7th, a 12-game hitting streak. Ahead of the count. Shepard's back to him. Softly hit in the left center field. The liner to Shields, tracking it, and that will do it. The Yankees score with 3 on the 3-run Garrett Jones home run. On to the 9th we go. 10-8 Rangers.
on top of the Yankees by a score of 10-8. This game 1 of a 3-game set between these two. Game 2 is tomorrow. It is a day game here in the Bronx. Nick Martinez towing the rubber with his 1.88 ERA, second in the NL. And CC Sabathia takes the mound for the Yankees. All this good stuff brought to you by AT&T Uverse. And Tom, I will let you know that the Twitterverse has let it be known that they want nothing more than a selfie of you and Steve Busby in the booth.
Well, then Steve Busby's going to have to take it.
So if you guys take it and send it to me, I will tweet it. I will put it on all. I'll put it out there for everyone to see.
Do you want us to do that?
I would love nothing more than for you two to take a selfie in the booth and send it to me. It would be magical.
Well, I normally wouldn't do it, but I'll consider it.
Okay, if you do this, I will forgive the lunch that you promised me that you still haven't bought me when we were in Boston.
You get off the hook that way.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Fair trade.
I'd rather buy you lunch, dinner, and breakfast than take a selfie.
I kind of had the feeling you were going to say that.
But I'll think about it.
Think about it.
All
Sleep on it.
All right.
Maybe if the Rangers win, you reward us with a selfie.
Okay.
Now the left-hander in now for the New York Yankees is Justin Wilson, 27-year-old, on now to work to Prince Fielder, leading off the 9th inning, a 10-8 ball game, and Fielder shoots one out of play down the left side. And a new shortstop. Things have changed around a little bit. Stephen Drew moves from second over to short. And staying in the ball game, Garrett Jones takes over in right field. One ball, 2 strikes. That's low and outside. And we also have another defensive change. Would be at second base. Jose Pirela is the new second sacker. 2-2 to Fielder. Prince, another multi-hit game, a multi-home run game tonight. He's got 2 of them. It's out of play. Prince, who came into play tonight, tied for the league lead in multi-hit games with 18. He and Ian Kinsler tied at 18, and now 19 for Prince. Don't know what Ian did tonight. That's outside, 3-2. So Fielder trying to get aboard to start the 9th inning. Adrian Beltre, the Ranger third baseman, waiting in the on-deck circle. Wilson ready. And fouled straight down home plate. We will try it again. Justin Wilson came over from the Pittsburgh Pirates off-season deal that sent catcher Francisco Cervelli over to the Pirates. Understand Ian Kinsler 0 for 4 tonight. So Prince, the league leader with 19 multi-hit games. Three and 2 the count. Justin Wilson back to the plate again. And another fly ball that will reach the seats in foul territory. Prince wanted some pretty good pitches from Wilson.
The Yankees have some high-powered arms out in their bullpen. Saw Carpenter come in. He throws 96. Justin Wilson's throwing 96. You know Andrew Miller throws 96. He's their closer. Dylan Betances throws 96. And some flamethrowers out in that bullpen.
There's Skag pitch tracker showing you the first 9 pitches pretty well scattered throughout the strike zone to Fielder. Now here comes number 10. We're going to have at least 11.
Well, that one was 96 too.
he ever drops down to 94, Prince is going to have a third home run.
That's right.
This one's going to stay in play. Towering pop-up on the left side of the diamond. Headley, the third baseman, puts it away, and Fielder, after an 11-pitch at bat, is gone for out number 1. Now Adrian Beltre will come up. Beltre 0 for 4 tonight. He has not joined in the 12-hit parade this evening, at least yet. Beltre, a .253 average. First ball swinging, shallow center. Heathcott there for out number 2. Next will be Mitch Moreland and Ross Ohlendorf. All you have to do is see that windup. You know who it is.
Yeah, that's a dead giveaway.
Yeah. Big Texan out there to loosen it up. Looks like he's going to be called on to work the bottom of the ninth. Mitch takes inside for ball 1. Moreland a 2-hit night. Home run and a single. He has scored twice.
Sean Tollison has closed out the last 2 ball games. May not be available tonight. That would be a nice opportunity for Ross Ohlendorf to come in and close it out.
Jeff Bannister pretty happy with the way things have started to shake out a little bit in the bullpen. He said, you know, maybe removing all the labels kind of help guys feel a little more at ease and say, look, let me just go out and do my job no matter when I'm asked to pitch or what I'm asked to do. He said maybe not having assigned the labels to them got guys thinking a little bit differently about their roles. Certainly can't argue with the results.
Nope.
2-1 pitch. Mitch had a pretty good rip at that high fastball. 2-2. 40,008 on hand here tonight. That's just about what the Yankees are averaging per game here at home. The highest attendance in the American League. Also played the fewest home games of anybody in the American League this year. 2-2 pitch. A full count. Moreland trying to get aboard with 2 outs. Elvis Andrus waiting in the on-deck circle, see if he can get another at bat in this ball game. Well, the Rangers have made Wilson throw a few pitches. Next pitch is going to be his 19th, and that's with a 1-pitch at bat by Beltre. Prince Fielder ran him to 11. Now Moreland has gotten the total up there. Another 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Mitch draws a walk. 3rd time he's been on tonight. And Elvis Andrus will indeed have another at bat here this evening.
Wilson was with the Pirates last few years. Hard-throwing reliever for the Pirates. Came over to the Yankees for Francisco Cervelli. Yankees really loaded up their bullpen in the offseason. Gave Andrew Miller a nice contract to be their closer. He saved 13 games. He's got pretty good numbers, Andrew Miller. 18 in the 3rd, 4 hits, and 31 strikeouts. Man, 0.67 opponent's batting average.
Say that's pretty much shutting the door.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be behind in the 9th inning if you think you're going to win a game.
Well, he finally gave up a run the other day.
Is that the first one?
Yeah. Yeah, he gave up, I believe he gave up 2.
Yeah, he's given up 2 for the year.
Yeah, they came in his last outing.
Gave up a home run. Was it a 2-run homer?
I didn't see it. Could have been. Elvis takes low. It's 2-1. Betances has not given up a run. He's got 20 consecutive scoreless outings.
Yeah, but they're hitting 107 against him.
Oh, well.
They're lighting him up.
They are.
He's given up 8 hits in 23 innings.
Yeah, they're just wearing him out. 2-1 to Elvis, who has a couple of hits. Singles in both the 2nd and the 8th. Hard hit, but pulled foul outside third. And it's a 2-2 count. Brett Gardner having retrieved that ball, and there you go. Give it to the little guy. Elvis back in. Wilson ready. 3-2. Elvis, the number 6 hitter, trying to get aboard to join Mitch Moreland. Leonis Martin is waiting to be next. Joe Girardi would just as soon Justin Wilson didn't go to 3-2 and not mess with things here in the 9th inning. Moreland on the move, called strike 3. Well, the Rangers strand a runner. We're going to the bottom of the 9th inning. It's the Rangers 10, the Yankees 8 on Fox Sports Southwest. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Book your low fare now at southwest.com. By AT&T UVerse TV. UVerse has more live TV channels on the go than cable. And by the Ford Memorial Day EcoBoost sales event. Get to your best in Texas Ford dealer today. Now we head to the bottom of the 9th here in the Bronx. And Ross Ohlendorf comes out of the bullpen and is asked to shut this game down. Ross Ohlendorf, his 2nd career save opportunity, and that's professional save opportunity. Minors, majors, any place in the world. This is his second time.
Well, he's going to have to earn it. He's going to have to face Alex Rodriguez, Mark Teixeira, and Brian McCann. 3, 4, 5 hitters in the Yankee lineup.
Ohlendorf facing Rodriguez, who is 2 for 4 tonight. And that's out of play. 0-1. The last save opportunity, the only save opportunity that Ohlendorf has had, back on July the 6th of 2013. And it was against the San Diego Padres. He blew that one, but got the win in the ballgame. Well, the good news, bad news scenario for Ross. Good fastball thrown right on by Alex Rodriguez.
A lot of heat. 95 with the first pitch, 96 with the second one.
Ohlendorf, the 32-year-old right-hander, Texas native from Lockhart. Distinctive windup, the 0-2. Got him swinging. Good hammer. And Rodriguez has gone on 3 pitches.
That was no contest. Fouled the first one off. Swung through the second one. And that's a beautiful breaking ball. 0-2. Exactly where you want to throw it. Close enough to tempt him to swing and far enough away that he can't do anything with it if he does swing.
The one gone. Here is Teixeira. Mark Teixeira 0 for 4 tonight. Rangers have done a good job bottling him up. A guy that came in hitting .407 in his last 9 ball games. 0-1. Teixeira now at .244 with the average. Ohlendorf missing inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ohlendorf most recently with the Washington Nationals. That was with whom he had that save opportunity in 2013.
Teixeira this year, I mentioned, had walked 26 times, struck out 21. It's his highest walk rate and lowest strikeout rate 2 months into the year.
That ball is blasted to right field. Teixeira has left the ballpark. 10-9 Rangers.
Watching Tex swing the bat. Pretty good bet. He's right back where he wanted to be after a couple of injury seasons. That was a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. He ripped it out of the ballpark in right field. And anytime you've increased your walk rate and decreased your strikeout rate like he has, pretty good indication that you're swinging the bat the way you want to.
th home run of the year for Mark Teixeira. It's now a 1-run game. Rangers on top 10-9, and still just 1 out for Brian McCann. McCann 1 for 4. Ohlendorf with a 1-0 pitch. I don't know what was that had McCann going, but it was kind of a half-hearted swing. Found a foul.
It's one of those swings you're not quite ready. You think you're ready. And you start your swing and you go, no, I don't want to swing. Either that or he was trying to hit one down the left field line into the shift. That might have been what he was doing. Could have been. The way he angled his bat like that.
McCann 2 for 7 in his career against Ross Ohlendorf. Chops this one foul the other way. And it's now 1 ball and 2 strikes. McCann back in there. Ohlendorf taking the sign. Time called momentarily. Ohlendorf into the wind. Got him swinging. Strikeout number 2. That is out number 2. Chase Headley will now step in.
Pretty good overhand curveball, straight down.
Ohlendorf facing some familiar hitters with McCann, now Headley. Headley 1 for 7 against Ohlendorf, and he takes strike 1. Headley tonight is 1 for 3. Reached when he was hit by a pitch in the 4th and scored, singled in the 8th and scored. The 0-1 pitch. A ball and a strike. Prince Fielder in the Ranger dugout. Good fastball thrown right on by Chase Headley. It's 1-2.
The fastball looks a lot better when you make the hitter aware of your other pitches.
Headley a .238 average. Ohlendorf okays the side. The 1-2 pitch. That will even things out. Yeah, Bannister pacing up and down as most managers do at this time of the ball game. Just outside, a full count. And a Skag pitch tracker showing you a matter of an inch or so. 3-2 with 2 outs. Low and inside, ball 4. And that puts the tying run aboard. And Stephen Drew is coming up.
Wasn't where the catcher had the target set up. You had to reach across the plate. And according to the Skag box truck, it caught the inside corner of the plate.
And that kind of a situation, you're not going to get that call very often, unfortunately.
Probably not.
Well, Mike Maddox out there to slow things down a bit, get the focus back on what you wanted to do with Stephen Drew. Drew is 1 for 4 tonight, had a single in the 8th inning. Three for 8 in his career against Ross Ohlendorf is Stephen Drew. One of those 3, a double. Tying run at first, 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. Ohlendorf to the plate. Line drive off him and goes to Field, who throws to first for the out, and that is a winner.
What a way to end it.
A deflection off of Ohlendorf to Tommy Field, on to Mitch Moreland. The Rangers win the ball game 10-9. Wow. And Ross Ohlendorf, his first professional save. And he's probably going to be a little black and blue after that one, too.
Yeah, he'll take it. You know, the funny thing is, that ball probably would have been right at Elvis. It looked like a base hit up the middle, but Elvis was playing right in back of second base. So even if it didn't work out that way, Elvis might have been able to make the play anyway.
The Ohlendorf gets the save. Colby Lewis gets the win. Colby moves to 4-2, and the Rangers have made it 3 in a row. 2 against the Red Sox, the first one here against the Yankees. Rangers pick up another game tonight. Now, it's back-to-back days that they've picked up a game on the Houston Astros. They now trail by 7.5 in the American League West. That's after not having picked up any ground in the last 10 days. So last couple days very productive. And Rangers moving their record up to 19-23. They are now 13-10 on the road this year, downing the Yankees, and they'll try to keep that string going tomorrow. But tonight, a victory to savor, a 10-9 Ranger win. And boy, that 7-run third inning was big, but the important runs, as it turned out, came in the 7th and 8th innings. Rangers put 1 in the 7th and 2 in the 8th. Yankees made it tough on them, closing to within 1 on Teixeira's home run. But 10-9, the Rangers get it done. Let's head down to the field. Emily Jones is standing by. Em?
Thank you very much, Prince Fielder, our TXU Energy Power Player of the game. 2 home runs tonight, Prince Fielder. This one a bit of a strange game, but you score 1 more run than the other team, which is all that matters, right?
Exactly. That's what it's about. Like you said, a strange game, but we came away with the win.
The offense appears to be clicking. The pitching is coming around. We talked before the game about things maybe starting to all come together. Is that the feeling you're getting?
Hopefully, but we'd rather not play games like this. If we score, we want to try to keep them down. But like I said, as long as we get the victory, it's all good.
Ross Ohlendorf, his first ever save at any level. This was only his 2nd opportunity. Pretty stressful situation for him to come into tonight.
Very, but he got it done. A little home run there or whatever, and he used his body to block the line drive, so it worked out fine.
What is it about this team on the road, Prince?
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I just think we have a lot of fun. Whenever you come into places like this, it's a great place to play. But I think we need to get better at home. But for now, let's just keep trying to play good baseball on the road.
Prince, congratulations on the win. We appreciate the time. We'll send it back now to you.
All right, Emily, thank you. Well, the Rangers get away with a 10-9 win in the first game of this 3-game weekend series. Hope you all enjoyed it. We will be back to Yankee Stadium to wrap things up for you right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.